I was thinking that we haven't actually done introductions properly, have we?
Oh yeah, we probably should do it at the start. Yes.
Oh, introduce
So-
who to who?
Introduce
Well,
you guys to our future fucking
What do you?
future
Obviously
subscriber
not to
base
each other.
and massive fans. So
Okay,
Carlos, I'm gonna let Carlos
on.
go first. Carlos,
Go on, Carlos, go on.
introduce yourself
Oh,
as
wait,
the
yeah.
member of the Lords of Death.
Putting me on the spot. I don't know what information to say about me. I'm.
Generic. You don't want to give personal.
Yeah, we exactly.
Not that you're gonna get any stalkers, but you. Could
I
give
am
them.
a big fan of films. I like to see as many as I can, preferably sci-fi or
Black and white.
or action films. But I like a broad spectrum. As the guys will know, I like to watch films that are quite deep and have character
Deep,
development.
Deep.
Um,
Yeah.
but I do not. I'll try things out. I'll try different languages. I'll try all sorts of stuff. I'll
Deep.
watch.
You thought that the abyss wasn't deep enough for you? Not like,
Too shallow. No.
hello.
Let's get James Cameron in there with his deep sub. There we go. Deep.
Mariana
but,
Trench. That's where Carlos is at. You think you're deep?
I like depth to my films, but I'm perfectly happy with shallow. But I might.
No,
grumble.
you're not. That's.
I
not
might
true at all.
grumble a bit and criticize.
That's not
it
true
slightly.
at all.
So that's
We'll
typically.
we'll elaborate that argument on another day of how you
that's
don't
it.
like.
So I'm sure it will come out slowly. But
We have debated
but
about your
that's-
lack of enjoyment of enjoyable movies before. Yeah. Anyway.
In fact, yeah, at some point we'll have to bring that list up.
Do you consider yourself to be a connoisseur, Carlos, of fine cinema? Or do you consider yourself to be a bit of a movie critic? Or are you just easygoing and...
He's not a connoisseur. He's actually vegetarian.
Sorry. Well,
Sorry.
you know, if you want to put a label on it, fine. But I'd say I do tend to end up being a little bit critical. I sometimes struggle to watch things and not have that like critical hat on to check things. So that does sometimes take me out of it. But I've watched things that have been just ridiculous, and if that's what they're going for, and they just want to be stupid and daft, and it's not meant
Such
to be
as?
deep, I'm fine with watching that. Right, rather than so let's
Oh,
think.
he's racking his mind now.
Yeah, I was going to say, what were our bad good movies that we were talking
No,
about?
no. What
Lockout.
movies do you personally
Lockout.
enjoy?
Oh,
Not-
favourite. I was going to say that was bad, but I didn't mark, you know, it's like, yeah.
Just pick
I
a
won't be
random
able to-
film, not anything that we've seen, that was shit that you enjoyed.
Something rubbish that I'd critically say is rubbish. Well, at least not well made. I mean, there's always saving graces. You have to come back to this, otherwise I get bored. There's always saving graces to films. There's things that
All
are.
right, let's
Yeah.
let's
It-
move
I
it
don't
along.
want to
Let's
do
move
that.
it along. Street Fighter is the obvious best answer, but anyway.
Actually, yeah, when I rewatched it with you,
The Big
I
Chief.
rewatched it with you and said, actually, I did actually really enjoy that. And yeah, you're right. It is rubbish. There's so many flaws.
The Big Chief, Europe. Introduce yourselves to the thousands and thousands of fans.
That's the first time you've ever called me Chief, TJ, just to be
I'm
clear.
just reading your name on the screen, by the way. Yeah.
You normally call me different things. Hello to our audience of just us and family, and maybe the odd mate we've accidentally sent the link to. Hello. Movie watcher. Been watching movies. I think I started watching movies when my dad would go to the video shop, and the local video man would say, "Oh, this is the new movie that's come out. It'll be a pirate copy of like Rambo or something like that." I say, "Right, yeah, got you. This movie. It's supposed to be really good. It's like Rambo: First Blood Part 2." And I was like 6.
Age appropriate.
And it's like,
It was a different time.
God, yeah, I remember him.
And
getting
now
me-
we understand what you're like now.
Now you get it. Shut up! Shut up! You know, yeah. So that was my first introduction to watching movies. I think it was every Saturday. You'd finish work early, go to the video shop next door, and just get me a movie so we'd watch it on the Sunday and then hand it back on the Monday, sort of thing. And that was the old days with the video shops. I'm sure some of you remember that, not everyone. And you had to watch it because you'd paid like 50 quid for the fucking thing. It wasn't cheap. It was a good few quid back then, right? So you have to watch it. And they do things like, but if you rent 2, it's only a couple of quid more. Or you can have 3 for this price.
3 for
five.
5.
5 videos you've got to watch in 2 days or something like that. But I always remember him getting me kind of fairly age inappropriate movies. Let's put it that way. Lots of violence and action and God knows what else.
Debbie
And
Does Dallas works. We know.
it barely affected me. It barely. But to be fair, right nowadays kids are watching like Stranger Things and stuff like that. That's like that's like PG
Yeah,
for
it's
them.
Yeah, the
Nightmare on Elm
ratings have
Street
been
level.
adjusted, haven't
Yeah.
they? I'm sure
Yeah.
we,
I mean-
we kind of talked about that.
Quick diversion, but when we do spoilers on that, when the motherfuckers breaks their bones and shit, I'm like, what the fuck is this? There's some horrific shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Carlos, you haven't seen it, have you?
You haven't
Not
seen it.
today. I
Yeah,
just-
yeah,
I don't
It's
mind
pretty
that. Not really
gruesome. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And did you know? I actually found this out the other day. That dude is actual practical effects. That's why it looks pretty good.
Oh, fantastic.
It's makeup, yeah, and it's the actual. I won't spoil it anymore. The actual dude underneath it. It's pretty good.
So that was me really.
Question to put you on the spot: what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie all time. Crikey, all time.
Okay.
Yeah, the thing is, there are
Depends what
favorites.
mood you're in.
There's always a movie you just will happily watch time and time again.
So just give me one of them.
Yeah, not
Oh,
always a
Predator.
favourite.
Give the people something
Most
they want to
watched,
know.
most watched.
Predator.
Predator. Alright,
I'd watch it time and time again every single time. Now, if you asked me like X years ago, it would have been like Star Wars, but I've watched that to death. I used to have a videotape of that and it got worn out. Yeah, so there you go.
And Carlos, what's your favorite movie and why is it Downton Abbey?
Oh God, no, no! Hey, oh, don't do that to me.
Avatar, isn't it?
Not
It's
even
Avatar.
been to see. No, don't.
James Cameron's Avatar.
So probably, I usually say like typically The Matrix because of the impact I felt when I watched it. I ended up having to. I went to watch it 3 times in the cinema, but it's a tie probably because of the number one. You know, you're saying one that you watched the most would be Die Hard. Yeah, Die Hard's the one that I watched the most.
Yeah, so I mean, I always think that there's like 10 movies.
Yeah,
My official
depends
list is 10 movies. It is too difficult to narrow down to one.
Yeah, and how you
Oh,
want
no,
me to do it.
you've got to pick one. You've got to give our audience the movie. The movie. Pick one. Come on. Come on.
He
Yeah,
just
talk
did.
to
He
you.
said The Matrix.
You, not him.
Oh, I thought we
Oh,
were gonna,
me,
you were gonna
me
down.
personally.
Yes,
You.
me done.
Empire
Go on.
Strikes Back. That's easy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, one thing I'll mention now, we've been through, Sanjay's is, me and TJ are always joking that he's seen everything. So when he mentioned like he used to go and rent these videos like every week or every, like, probably sounds like you're doing 2 or 3 as well. It's every couple of nights. This is why you've seen everything when we're looking for things that you've not watched.
I remember there was one, The Hidden. Remember that one?
Yep.
It was.
I've seen that, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah, that was my
Kyle
favourite.
MacLachlan.
Yes, that's him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dune guy.
I remember my dad getting that on videotape for me when
There we
it
go.
first came out.
Yeah, it was early 90s.
Uh,
Was it early 90s or was it 80s
I think
still?
no, I can't. It might have been an 80s.
It's right around there. So
Yeah,
there we
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Come on then, TJ. Our
Come on.
glorious host.
I'm gonna do an introduction video. But all right, in a nutshell, I think my story, I guess, is similar to Solanke's, the Big Chiefs, in that my mum was a little bit random and let us, me and my little brother, who's 2 years younger, when we were little kids growing up in the 90s, we watched everything and anything. Like, I saw Terminator 2 on Pirate when it was in the cinema. Definitely remember. I
Wow.
saw Aliens before I saw Alien.
Yeah.
I saw Predator when I was a little kid at my cousin's house in Bradford.
You
I
guys.
saw First Blood, Lethal Weapon. I saw loads of movies, and those were the movies where there was always some sort of nudity in there, right? So we had to do that Indian thing where we'd quickly change the channel. I was like, standard, quick change your channel, as if
Okay,
you'd
cool.
just seen everything anyway. So yeah, that's I guess me in a nutshell. Grew up watching all these cool movies from the 80s, and
Started the
kind of-
nostalgia.
I guess I'm big into video gaming as well. You can see from behind me, I've got quite a few random bits and pieces. I'm gonna do a tour of all that good stuff later. But yeah. Oh shit, I messed up the camera now.
He doesn't want to look at you anymore. You're gonna have to stand up.
We're doing a tour of our background. Did I mention Warhammer, by the way?
I think you did mention it last week. Is that one per episode now?
So all my Warhammer bits and pieces, paraphernalia behind me.
Yeah, it's part of the description.
There.
You don't like to paint Big Trouble in Little China figures. We should mention.
No, I like to paint them very slowly.
Slow. Very slow.
slowly.
I was thinking I've actually got a spot ready for them.
Really?
I've got a spot ready for the main man, right there in the middle, at the top. But yeah,
still working.
Mr. Lopan, that's part of the list. I could have said Big Trouble if I wanted to.
Yeah.
No,
half expecting it.
We'll discuss that, I guess, one of the days when we can't think of anything else. Okay, so after rambling on for how long? 11 minutes. Top Gun Maverick. So me and Carlos, we watched this pretty much upon release. I think I saw it on day of release.
Yep, same. Was it the same?
Well, it's a Friday. I didn't have anything to do, so I thought, fuck it, I'm going to go. Sat there and watched it by myself. And when did it come out? It's over a month ago now. Must be close to 5-6 weeks.
Time to begin the review.
Yeah. But Sanjay, you saw it just this week, gone.
That's right.
So you know what? Because it's fresh in your mind, I think you should give us your general thoughts. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously, I think the takeaway from me was it was absolutely blown away by it. Some of the sequences in there were just. It's very rare that nowadays where I watched a movie and you're there, white knuckle ride all the way.
Yep.
And not only that, afterwards you're like walking back to the car in the car park and you're still like buzzing over it because your mind was just like, what the fuck did I just watch? I think it was in terms of action sequences and what I'm assuming the second unit director. He just did a just incredible job, and I think it's a real game changer. I think every other movie after this one will try to emulate what they did, and I think it won't be that successful because they actually got onto F-18s and actually did this. They couldn't have done it with CGI. It was physically impossible to get the sense of movement and the G forces and how the body, Tom Cruise's eye bags were like, down, showing his age there, because a 60-year-old guy there, So, just mind-blowing. On top of that, the story was kind of nothing special but solid. It was a really good... In the end, it was a father-son movie. Goose's son was the son, and he was the kind of the old-school Maverick father figure, kind of towards the end of his career, possibly this was going to be his swan song out of it. Then he's given charge of this young group of people, which includes his son. He has to get the acceptance of his son at the end. You know what happens. It was a real mixed bag. In terms of overall story, the story writing itself, it's kind of a mixture of I would say The Dirty Dozen and Star Wars. Dirty Dozen being the suicide mission. Not all of you are going to make it. It's like it's a great movie. Got to watch it. Dirty Dozen, classic war movie. It's the suicide mission. They pick the in this case they were the best of the best. In that movie they were the Mavericks and the Rogues, which also would have been a nice twist on it. And they complete the mission. I can't remember if anyone actually dies in it, but then and the rest of it's all trench run Star Wars. Trench run Star Wars. There you go. There's no but it's the Star Wars except Obi-Wan turned up and actually flew. So, get the fuck out, Andy! Yeah! Boom, done. So that's basically what happened.
So to summarize, you fucking loved it.
Fucking loved it. I mean, that was. I don't like giving any movie like a 10 out of 10, but it's a definitely solid 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I would give it a good 9 out of 10.
Yeah. There's loads of other things. It played homage to the original. but and didn't mock it. A lot of movies take the Mickey out of the originals because they are no longer they apparently they're dated, don't fit into the current narrative in Hollywood. It didn't mock it.
We don't want to go there just yet. We can explore that later if you want to. But yeah, what you're saying is it was a good homage to the original.
Yeah.
All right.
I think so.
Kazochins.
So me, go for it.
Okay, yes. I suppose we kind of did a little touch on this last week anyway when we discussed it between the two of us because we'd already seen it without spoiling it. But again, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like you said, it's like event cinema. It feels like what cinema should be. You know, when you go to a film and there's certain elements to it which you can't always explain, but it has, you know, which we'll probably talk about in a bit, which hopefully to try and understand it of like when we run through the music, etc., and all the backgrounds and so on. But I felt like, interestingly, that you said you were walking to the car still excited. It's like you said, you feel you've been to an event, you feel that you've really enjoyed it. And I know when a film is really good, when you come out and you go, I've got to go home and now watch Top Gun. You know, I got to go. You're putting the music on the drive home. It's like you know that it's left that really positive in like feeling in you that you've really enjoyed something. I think I'll probably get into a bit more detail about like each bit and sections and so on and so forth. And I even since have read a couple of bits that are really interesting, like behind the scenes and stuff to do with making and things. But basically, and I will. Oh, and I'm hoping we'll talk a little bit about flaws because there's a few things that I really do want to nitpick. Yes, I will. It'll be
controversial.
I really loved it. But there's definitely.
There you go. Thanks. That's good. Thank you, Carlos.
I'd say no. We've lost him. We've lost him. Hello.
all right.
That, by the way, will just let you know that I have that power. So
yes.
Watch what you fucking say, motherfuckers.
Stay on your good side.
They'll say something. I'll say wrong.
Then I just disappear. You know it is, right? Wrong.
So yeah, okay. No, that's
DJ.
good.
What about you? Give us your quick summary.
I think you're right when you said that it was proper cinema. I told everybody when I came out of it. I think I went by myself, so I was fucking hyped. Yeah. I text everybody. I'll probably text you, clowns, as well. You definitely want to go see it. Just the opening sequence, as soon as the music kicked in, and they're there on that fucking what you call it, launch ship. What are they called?
It's the steam catapult and the aircraft carrier.
The aircraft carrier. When they're on the aircraft carrier, they got the troops, and they're going around doing their shit, and they're just
Top Gun theme.
I was like, this is a fucking proper. I thought this is goddamn great, with the music blasting and shit. And then Dangerzone kicked in as well. I thought this is one of those ones. We'll get into it, but I would say, even though we're only in fucking June, I would say it's probably the movie of the year.
It is one of the best things I've seen in the cinema. I'm guessing what you were about to say is you probably told everybody they should go to the cinema to watch this.
Yeah. Probably my favorite cinema experience since Infinity War.
I was just about to say that's
how good it was. I can't remember seeing anything this good since.
For me, the Spider-Man, the latest Spider-Man.
No, this is better than Spider-Man. Much better. Spider-Man was good, but this is like mind-blowing. It's like everybody should go and see this film. I told it. I said it's kids can go and see it. I don't think there's anything risky about it at all.
I think it's a 12A.
12 or a PG, something like that.
PG.
So,
wow.
Anybody should go and see it, I think, especially with all the fucked up, shitty movies that we've got these days, with their messed up messaging. I thought the messaging in this was spot on. Do you know
what surprised me? It made me feel. It had some really good emotional scenes, and that were really well done. I really was surprised. I was like, it'll probably just be a bit of
I'm starting to forget the detail of what happened in the film, so quite a lot will be washed over me. But
what we'll try and do is hopefully bring some back while we chat through it, especially with Sanjay, who's obviously seen it the most recent. And then we can
all right.
Get into that.
Going down my random.
Shall I just jump in quickly to say there will be spoilers? We'll be discussing key plot points. So if you've not seen it, beware. Okay, carry on, teacher.
Yeah, if you've not seen it, watch episode 0. It's a good one. This is episode 4. Doesn't matter what the title is.
So, in terms of the actors, obviously you're going to get Tom Cruise coming back. Notably Kelly McGinnis.
McGillis.
Is it McGillis?
No.
She was retired, and I think. Do you want to tell everybody why she didn't come back, Solanke?
Age.
Is it just age though? Because he's
Well,
older.
She got older, and she no longer looked like her passport photo.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
And she looks fucking terrible. Whereas, and they
Well, no, she looks
replaced.
like a 60-year-old woman, doesn't she?
I don't know, but does he look like a 50-year-old man?
Yeah, but
Well, this is the problem. It's that he doesn't look.
alien.
He's not. Yeah, normal for that aged person. She just
Yeah, all right.
looks like she's aged like anyone else.
Yeah. I mean, she looks fucking terrible. Whereas Tom Cruise looks like he's been on the special juice, whatever that might be. So they replaced her with Jennifer Connelly, who I think was a fantastic choice.
Well, so okay, never mind. We'll carry on.
No,
Let
go
you
on,
do.
say it.
Come out with it.
When I went,
man.
when I went along, I'm like, what's this? That they're implying all this history with them, and I'm like, I don't remember any of this because it's been like 10 years since I've seen Top Gun.
There is
Do
none.
you? There is.
No, there isn't.
Ah,
None.
right.
None.
So
None at all.
she. Do you remember in the film, the original one?
Yeah.
We watched it. They say how he slept with the general's daughter.
Right.
It's her.
Yeah, come on, that was
You
just
don't-
they could get
It's a
new-
token connection, but I was like, this is really cool because she's
Yeah,
it's
that's
the
so
same
good.
name they say. They say about
that's
like
pretty
there's a whole
cool, though.
story where they're taking the piss and say, oh yeah, I've heard about the story of you. Oh, apparently you slept with the what's it? Because he's a bit of a maverick with the. It's her, and that's why when he runs into her again, it's like that's why he. Anyway, okay, fine. But I
Yeah,
thought that
that-
was a nice
we
little.
got it.
tip.
Tenuous
That's
link.
tedious link, but I don't think they need to put that in
Fine,
there. They didn't need to. They didn't need to have her as her. They could just have her as a random love interest. Clearly, the guy's got around. Do you know what I mean? He's meant to be
I
a
thought it worked. The fact that I
badass
thought
fucking pilot from the Navy.
I thought they just added it in, so I didn't mind.
Notably, Val Kilmer turned up as well.
Oh,
Do you know much about Val Kilmer's current troubled?
I am
well, he's
aware
got,
he had
circumstance.
throat
he's got throat cancer.
cancer.
Yeah, I didn't know that until I
so
did some research after seeing him
yeah.
in the movie that
Mm.
he's got pretty fucked up.
Yeah, I saw him in something else, and the same thing. The character he played had basically been shot through the throat. So the idea is that's why he's got the issues where he struggles to give the dialogue. So yeah, it was very nice to see them bring him back in. Actually, I thought.
Mhm.
I think it's good how they put him into the story as well, and actually what they did with his character.
And where his character makes sense because of what he was like compared to what
Yes.
Maverick's like, and where Maverick is at the start of the film, it completely fits with the original.
But what did everyone think
Do you
of?
want to Oh, go on. Finish your point.
What did you think of Jennifer Connelly's performance, though?
I think she's good. She's
Yeah, I
fine.
thought it was pretty decent. I say
Yeah.
for what she was given.
I think the where it suffered was that relationship was kind of pointless to the story. It was kind of superfluous. It wasn't really needed.
I know she gave him like pointers and tips. And she gave him a bit of support when he was feeling a little bit down.
Yeah, sounding board.
kind of what you want.
But
Isn't that like the dream? The beautiful Jennifer Connelly
It made
rubbing
it
your
made
shoulders after you've had a shitty day at work.
It made more sense in the first movie where she was the specialist.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
didn't want to do that again.
yeah, I suppose that's it. You're right. So the focus was therefore on the relationship with Rooster, and the fact is that she, as I say, it's almost like you need to have a bit of a sounding board to know what he's thinking going through, and his kind of she's there as well to have him accept that possibly that he should maybe move on, or what was it? Yeah. Anyway, which is a very good scene, which we'll get to later with Val Kilmer.
Who else was in there notable? John Hamm, we've mentioned.
Yeah,
we haven't
Don
mentioned
Draper himself.
Don Draper. I thought he was fine. And then
I mean, again, he's just being that character now. In things I see him in, he's just that guy who you kind of, are you meant to like? You don't really like him, but actually he's all right. He's very stern, but he's all right.
smug guy with an
That's what he
attitude,
does.
straight
Yeah.
talking.
Yep. It's
No
exactly what
bullshit,
he
no
plays
nonsense.
every time. Yep, and he's good at doing it.
I fucking love Don Draper. Me and James
Don Draper's
thought
a
of
lot
an
more
idea of like
more
a
complex.
T-shirt line. It's called what WWDD. It was meant to be
Don
what
Draper.
would Denzel do, and then we had another one for what would Don do.
What with an extra D, what would Don Draper do?
No, you wouldn't do that. You just have one with them. Anyway, yeah, I think he's really cool. I like John.
And we had Miles Teller.
Yeah, I thought he was good, to be honest.
Don't you think though he's a little bit daft that they made him look exactly the same as Goose?
Well, I thought actually,
the mustache.
I thought
They
actually
didn't
it was
need to do
alright.
that in it.
I thought, like you say, you go, wow, he does actually really remind you of him. So
Yeah, but why would you do that? If that was
He
you
is
in that
meant to be his
situation
son.
and you were going into the Navy, would you say, you know what, I'm gonna make my appearance look exactly the same like my dad?
It's
I'm
only a
assuming-
mustache. That was it. He grew a
I'm
mustache.
assu-
Probably.
No,
I
if
don't
you
know.
look at his the hair as well. Look, I'll
yeah,
pull
even
it
the
up.
shirts he wears. But that's because I'm assuming his dad was his hero. You know, he's
I mean, you wouldn't. I don't know. I thought it was a little bit too much on the nose. He didn't have to make him look that similar. Oh shit!
I thought
Like
actually it was
spiky
decent
hair.
casting. But yeah, have a mohawk to go in that helmet.
Oh, man, I seen somebody did a video clip where they put Miles Teller playing the piano next to
Yeah,
Goose
him-
playing the
his-
piano, and they basically look and act exactly
I
the
was
same.
going to say that was. I actually quite liked that they had Great Balls of Fire in it and him playing, and that was the moment that
No, it's
made
too on the nose.
Maverick
It was-
out there
it was
go,
too on the nose.
oh shit.
Treating the audience like idiots. They didn't need to do that. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know. I still thought it was a nice moment because I thought Tom Cruise did really well in that scene when he's outside the window. I thought he did it was a.
Yeah.
We're inside looking out at him. And obviously, like I said, that's where Jennifer Connelly comes in. You know, she's the one who spots it, recognizes this about what he's going through.
Yeah, you can see that, right?
No, it's coming.
See, good casting.
Yeah, it was a good casting, but his hair is very similar. The mustache was very similar. Yeah, I mean, he looks similar. That's obviously something you want to go for. But personally, I think they didn't need to make them look fucking identical.
See, you're
No.
nitpicky too.
If he turned up just looking like himself, I would have been happy with that. Anyway, that's Hollywood, I guess.
Yeah.
No,
suppose
you've got to like play up to the in the lowest common denominator. So to make the point that he's
They like it
his
to be on the
son.
nose.
Oh, doesn't he look like him? Must be his son.
Look,
yeah.
he's playing that song. Do you remember the song?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bit contrived that in the exact same moment when Watch Call It would there, he would play the exact same song. You know what I mean? It's a little bit alright, yeah. It's
He played
definitely
some others. He played some other songs first.
for the movie and for the audience as opposed to
Yeah.
for the story.
Yes, it was. It was a little callback, but I actually quite liked it, as I say.
Well, I think that's the old homage elements.
Yeah.
There's a bit of copying
Having that
there,
song
just
in
so
it.
you know it's the same movie.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
just to break it up a bit, I've got a question for you. What will be your call sign?
Oh my goodness.
Come on, then. Call signs. Let's go. Would it be something cool, like Viper, or something a bit funny, like Jester, Goose, Bob? What would it be? Come on.
I think I'd probably go. I know it doesn't really mean much. I'd go with Agatean because I'm using that in a few places. I'd just.
Yeah,
use
you
that.
couldn't say
Say that again.
Agatean.
That's
Isn't
some
that your like Twitter handle?
fucked up
Yeah.
World of Warcraft shit or something. What?
Fucking
It's from Discworld. Discworld.
No,
Pratchett.
God, no. I mean, yeah, that
I'd
makes
probably
perfect
go with
sense that you would have something like that.
Exactly. It's awkward to say. No one will want to say it, and everyone's like, "Where's it from? I don't get this reference." Well, except me.
I'd probably
I'm joking.
find something from anime. I think some cool.
Would
That's
you?
what I mean. I don't. I'm
Yeah.
guessing though you'd have Big Chief.
Oh, God.
Big Chief, come on, Big Chief.
Big Chief.
Fuck
Big
seven,
Chief.
fuck seven.
Yes,
Big Chief is down. He got blown out the sky on his first mission. Oh my God.
He's crash landed on takeoff. Oh, shit. Big Chief.
Call sign. I'm gonna have to think about that.
Yeah,
You
you
got
will.
the
We hopefully by the end of this, you have to say you have to come up.
No,
with
no,
one.
you
I'm
don't
happy
want to
with
force
Agatean.
it though.
I've used it.
It
I've used
can't
it
be
in a few-
forced.
No,
You
it's
have
got
to
to be
think of
your
something
character,
organically.
isn't it? It's got to be
I
your
use-
actual character.
Well, I use Agatean in gaming sometimes as well.
But it's not a good call sign. It's like, you're attacked by MiGs and your women's going, Agate, oh, what the fuck? No, it's got to be
You
easy
just
to
say, shout Aga.
roll off.
Yeah, like something like Viper or Iceman. I mean, they're fucking cool last names. It'd have to be cool like that.
Oh yeah, actually, while we're talking about this, can I just bring
Maverick,
up that
tongue
I
in
think
cheek, but yeah.
that I want to say, personally, I don't think Fanboy was a very good. I think most of them were really good. I didn't think Fanboy was very good.
I can't remember. Let me have a look.
It doesn't matter.
You don't remember them
What
all?
about Bob? Bob.
Yeah, but that's hilarious. That was why it was
His
so
name's
good.
Bob.
Because it was so bad. It was like it's just his name, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. Which is why
You
I
know,
like
Carlos?
it.
It would be your battle cry. That's what it would be.
Rooster, Hangman,
Guys,
Phoenix, Payback, Fanboy,
See?
Bob. They're all shit.
Wasn't there like a Merlin or something? I thought they were all pretty decent.
No,
except
Merlin
for-
was the teacher in the.
Ah,
first
yeah. See, that's a
couple.
good one as well. Merlin's
Hangman
good.
is a good name.
Yeah, there's a
I'll
bunch
name
of
up
them.
Hangman.
Oh yeah. You got to bear in mind that some of them get given them by the rest because of what they're like. Because obviously we find out his name was given to him by everybody else.
Even Phoenix. I think Phoenix
Yeah,
is
Phoenix
okay.
Good name.
Fanboy, Bob. They're
Oh,
shit.
fan of Fanboy. Yeah. Obviously
Paycheck, Payback, and even Rooster. I mean, yeah, I know what they're
Bob.
doing.
Yeah, but it's because of Goose. Yeah.
Lame.
Yeah.
They're lame.
No, it's a
Maverick,
nice
Goose,
little
Maverick.
callback to his father.
Hollywood,
Yeah.
Wolfman, Viper, Jester.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of Hollywood, but it suited the character, didn't it? So.
Yeah.
So I thought they did
Sundown.
alright with it.
There's another one. Charlie. So it can be anything you want.
Shall we
You didn't say
carry
what
on?
yours
Keep
would
it
be.
rolling?
Hang on, you didn't say what his would be.
Who? Me?
You.
Oh, I don't know. I hadn't thought about it.
You brought it up. I thought you had
It
something.
was a good
lined up.
question, but yeah.
I thought you had one in the chamber ready to go.
No. I just maybe I'll go for something like the Screwfix catalog, like Hacksaw.
Weren't we talking about this before? And you came up with a really good
You-
one.
you'd be
Yeah.
Grinder.
Yeah.
let's be honest.
Well, yes, right.
He is Grinder.
I've done it. You open up the Screwfix catalog. You got Hacksaw. You got Clawhammer.
It was Clawhammer. That was it.
Yeah,
It was
mate.
Clawhammer was the one.
Carly
that came
told me
up
that.
with.
Clawhammer. Yeah.
Carly-
Clawhammer. I remember we
It
had.
has to be overly camp with gay innuendos. Collins would be the jackhammer. The pile driver.
That's some messed up shit, man. Careful.
Oh,
messed
man.
up.
The reamer.
The Reamer.
Maybe we should go to a different catalogue.
Yeah. Grease gun.
The grease nipple.
Just had a brief
Yeah.
visit from one of the dogs, but she's gone now. I think she's obviously didn't enjoy the conversation.
Or who was the director of this gig? Do you guys know? Let me have a look.
The
Was it the same guy?
it's the guy he did.
Joseph Kosinski. Doesn't ring a
Yeah,
bell.
he did.
Hey, 'cause
the
it was
Tron
Scott,
movie.
wasn't it?
He did Tron movie, didn't he? The second one.
Oh yeah, was it him? Yes, it was. Yeah. So
he
he's
did.
he's done loads of really CGI heavy stuff, and then
Yeah.
suddenly no CGI, basically.
Tron
All
and Oblivion, which was also very good.
Very good.
Very good film.
Good,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right, with Cruise.
Only the Brave. I've never even heard of it. Oh, and then this was his fourth movie.
Don't think I know that one.
His next movie, it's come out, is The Spiderhead on Netflix. Just out right now.
Oh, we did that.
Just released. Yeah.
Have you seen it
Don't
already?
know anything about it, but it's there on my Netflix to watch.
Yeah,
mean,
so
it's-
I
There's
mean,
definitely 3 decent movies, so you might be all right.
I was going to say, what can you say? He just did really well, knocked it out of the
I
park.
really liked Tron. I know a lot of people thought it was a bit of shit.
I loved
but
it.
Yeah,
Loved
I
it.
think
Thought it was
it's
brilliant.
great.
Just to clarify, Tron Legacy, you mean?
Yeah, Tron Legacy.
Well, I like the original as well.
Yeah, sorry, it's just he was saying that the one that he directed. Yeah, Tron's great. I think Legacy, I'm very much tepid on it. It's good. It's fine. I'm probably not going to rewatch
You
it.
know, it's at that Tron. We're going off the subject, but Tron Legacy is an audio visual just feast.
Masterpiece. Yeah.
It's not a great
worth seeing.
story. The acting is whatever, you know. But
Except that you
it's
get a good
about-
Michael Sheen. I do like Michael Sheen.
yeah, good Michael Sheen. But you know what? On a good TV, decent size with the 5.1 going, it's a beast. Trust me. That's the one to test your OLED TV and your big speakers.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
No, it's a good one for the projector. You got a good point. I might
Yeah,
put it
really
on
good.
with
You got Daft Punk on the music.
Yeah, I will give you that. Yeah, the sound.
you
was-
kidding
it's
me?
fucking awesome.
The
One of
sound,
the best soundtracks. End.
sound was good, and the visuals were good.
Yeah, I
Very
actually
well
add
done.
that to my list actually. That is soundtracks. I started making again another diversion. I started making like an Excel workbook, obviously as a project manager, with loads of tabs with different stuff that I wanted to talk about. One of them was favorite OSTs, which was up until now blank, but I will add that on.
I'm sure we've had this discussion before. Favorite soundtracks, no classical music. That was my challenge.
How about this? How about this? How about this? You keep it for now.
Yeah.
We'll save it, yeah.
And we'll go over it next time. I'd like that idea of doing
that.
Yeah.
Instead of doing a movie, we'll bin off Thor because it's probably going to be a bit weak anyway. And we'll do soundtracks.
Can I check?
Well, you can include you can have the orchestral ones if you want.
I was just about to ask that. Do you mean so things that are composed is fine? Like I said, when you say no classical music, you mean you can't have taken an existing one and used it in film?
No, he means nothing which is just purely with instruments.
Purely orchestral.
With a composer.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're pulling out like no John Williams, no.
See, at that point.
So it means no easy way out, that sort of shit. That's what he wants to hear.
That's right. That becomes a lot harder. We can do both. You can do best movie soundtracks and then
So we're fine with like Tarantino and Scorsese and some of the stuff.
I forget which way is it? One score and one soundtrack. Which one is it? Which one's which?
I think you're right.
Soundtrack is the
I think score
instrumentals.
Is operatic, or I think that's right.
No, that's the wrong way around.
Film. I don't know.
I thought film score was the orchestral pieces of music. And soundtrack was. But you're right, it might not be. That's the way I thought. We've gone off topic. Shall we find out and then we can actually clarify at the beginning of the video that this is what it is.
All right. Let's go back to the topic. Where do we get
done?
To? Director and producers. That's the dude. The producer of this was Bruckheimer. That's kind of obvious. He's going to be all over it. And Tom Cruise himself.
Yeah.
Well, some of that sometimes is for more money.
Well, he actually had a lot of control over this. I know that the last Mission Impossible, because he was one of the producers, he actually had a lot of creative control. Apparently in Hollywood, the producers have a lot more creative control than in other parts of the world. The directors actually have a less power than you think, but they make themselves executive producers so that they keep the control.
Oh, okay. That's a bit different.
So I can't remember who it was. It was one of the Japanese directors came over to Hollywood, and that was the surprise that the producers would turn up and start changing bits of the story. Apparently so.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, because the director's more focused on the creative side, whereas the producer's got the ear of the studio.
Okay.
Is that what it is? Yeah, possibly. All right. And the studio for it was Paramount. They're usually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Box office. This is interesting. So the box office and the budget. So the budget was supposedly 170 million. And I think currently worldwide, I don't know if it includes China,
billions,
hit 900 million. So it is Tom Cruise's most successful movie ever. I know that already.
It's wow.
He's never done more than this.
Wow.
I think a lot of it's just word of mouth. I think every man and his dog came out of the cinema and told every cat and his wife, go watch the movie.
Yeah. Well, you've got the audience who don't go very often, who watch Top Gun and absolutely loved it when they were young and gone, we have to go see Maverick. So you've got people who maybe don't as often are going to see this.
There is one special thing about this one. It's worth going to the cinema for this. The big screen makes all the difference. I think watching it at home, you're not going to get that just amazing
adrenaline rush.
Oh god!
Because the size of the fighter jets. Yeah. Coming through the screen and the sound quality.
And this one, I actually, if it ever comes back to IMAX, I'd pay to watch it. On IMAX, this has got to be a beast. Yeah, the super big screen with the aspect.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
I think I what did I go see at the local cinema? It's a showcase, and they've got their own IMAX version. I can't remember what it's called.
Right.
So I think I saw it like that in a big ass screen. Yeah, the sound quality was sick.
Yes. Yeah. I wanted to go to IMAX, but the weekend it was already I think something else. Doctor Strange was out, maybe, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, possibly.
Something like that. No, Dominion. Jurassic World Dominion was out.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
We're not going to talk about that. Let's
No, let's not talk about that.
fuck you know. Yeah. All right. So, I mean, you already mentioned that the story is really basic. I think it was basic, but I think it didn't need to be complicated.
Yes, I completely agree with that. I was going to jump in here because I definitely wanted to say about that. I think what was done is just what they needed, and I think how they set it up was really well done. It was more to do with the kind of the time frame of how they fed the information to us to set up everything. So when you first see him, I mean, I've not tried to do my very quick summary of the whole thing, but you literally have the block of, this is where our character currently is, and it makes perfect sense. We're bringing him back in, and then he sets up the kind of, the difficulty of this task right from the get-go by saying, not everyone's going to come back from this. That is literally a line he says, isn't it, in that first bit? He goes, not everyone's... And you know then, you're like, right, stakes are high, this is good. We have a mission that they have to complete, he's in, and that's it. Then you carry on, crack on with the film. Maverick's now going to get these guys ready, and they've got to go and do this really, really dangerous mission. And I think, and then finishing off with the mission, like I say, seems like a simple structure, but they presented it, I think, really well and put it on really well.
Well, they had the B and C plots of his relationship with
which is
and him trying to get with what's her face.
It's the emotional sides of the film, which is why I was surprised it was just that.
Good summary.
Rooster and I'm trying to think what her name was. Not Janet.
It was something boring.
So you can't remember her name. There you go. Having a laugh at my expense.
If she'd had a tag name on it, I probably would have remembered.
Was it Penny?
Penny, it might be.
Yeah,
that
could
does
have
seem
been.
to ring a bell.
It was Penelope Penny. Look at that.
There you go.
Screw
Penny.
you both.
I didn't say
Well
you
done. Well done for remembering
didn't
the
say
character's
anything.
name.
You mocked my comment of what's her name. That's what
What's
you did.
name? What'd you call it?
And the thing is,
Fucking
I fucking knew it.
Fucking hell. Sort yourself out.
Fucking knew it. Yeah.
so yeah, it's I didn't have a problem with that at all, story-wise.
I think it's all woven together nicely,
Yeah.
and it just worked. It told the story perfectly, exactly
It
what it
progressed
needed
at the
to.
right time.
It was all on point. So yeah, I'm happy with it. Simple as it was, anybody can. That's why I said anybody can watch this film.
Yeah, you can go
Kids
in,
can
you
watch it and they'll
understand,
fucking love it.
you know what they're trying to do, then you get the payoff.
Yeah, it's beautiful, start to finish. Oh, here's one point for you though. Do you think that they sanitized the movie recently to take out Russia?
Right. Okay. No. Here we go. Right.
You think that's where it was supposed to be? I don't know.
It's either
I never-
Russia or China or Korea. There's not many places where it could have been. I mean, if you look at the setting, it couldn't have been in the Middle East. Obviously.
Yeah, I think they've specifically chosen not to say. Yeah.
No, they said it was Iran.
I thought. Was it?
Yeah.
It was
Again,
in
this
Iran.
isn't me not watching it. Like
It was Iran.
It was in Iran.
It was. He said it.
No one said it in the film.
There's a particular scene. At no point do they say it, and I'm thinking, I wonder what part of the world the bad guys are now, because it changes from like year to year, right? And there's one particular scene. There's a guy in the background. You're overseeing. We're going into Iran. And you would, if you blinked, you'd miss it.
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Most people haven't picked up
I did
on that.
blink, and I definitely missed it.
Now I might be wrong, but I heard instead of Iran, he might have said,
All right, well,
"I'm doing some ironing." I don't know.
2 hour. Viewers.
How did you get
Take
it
that with
today?
a
I
pinch of
ran.
salt that it's in Iran.
I'm not
quite
there.
sure on that.
I ran here.
Iran.
Again, this needs to be fact checked live, I think, because we can't be misleading the public.
Fact check it live.
I thought they vaguely said like the name, the title. They gave it like a title.
Because how does it? I mean, you saw the scenery.
Yeah.
Right? There's forest and snow and
It's
shit.
a mountain
Yeah.
sort of.
It's like that in
mountain.
Iran.
I've never been
No
there.
chance, man. It's Middle East. What do you mean you have never been there? It's a fucking
There's big
desert.
variation in lots of different countries.
In the fucking desert.
I didn't do it. Someone else wrote the fucking script. It wasn't me, was it?
I think, like you said, that I think they wanted it to be generic bad guys. We're not going to say where.
I think they said Iran.
You haven't watched the most recent.
Google isn't giving any clues.
Giving an answer.
There's one thing where one of the hits at the top. The most glaring indication of Iran's starring role is the F-14 Tomcat that appears at the end of the trailer. I'm not going to click on the article; it'll be long.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so there's that one little fact that they're going in to take out a nuclear weapons fuel refinement silo, which is all anybody talks about around.
Russia or North Korea because they've already got nuclear weapons, right? So that counts them out.
China obviously do as well. Yeah.
But yeah, they've already got them. So who's that? So okay, and I'm pretty sure he said Iran. So on the, I could go back to the cinema and watch it. I got no problem.
We will. We'll have to go watch it in IMAX.
Yeah, I'll watch it in IMAX. Yeah.
Hopefully,
obviously on the home release, they might edit that bit out.
If it's spotted.
They'll be like, I caught some little cough when they say it. Because it's...
Yeah, you're going to have to point this out because you might have spotted something which the editors didn't want in there.
I'm pretty sure he said Iran.
Everybody, I'm pretty sure it's meant to be ambiguous.
Yeah, I thought it was. But you're right, it could be that there's someone in the background who was act and pretend that you're saying, and he just happened to keep one of these lines in that he was randomly,
Because it's a country that's on the coast, right? So actually, that's a good point. Does Iran even have a coast?
Yeah, of course it does. Yes, it does.
Oh yeah, massive.
Persian Gulf. There's massive Gulf. Yeah.
But I can't see any sort of forests or snow anywhere to be seen.
Look, I'm sure they needed to keep it ambiguous. I'm just
north side by Tehran. It looks.
You normally get the ice and everything because of the height. It's like you get it in California, don't you? They go skiing.
I mean, Iran would be a crazy one. Yeah, I'm not sure I'd see that.
There we go. So location, we don't know. Did we know where they filmed it out of interest?
Yes, it was actually a fighter training.
I know that's where they did the zigzag. Yeah, I know that's where they did that was an actual, because a lot of the people flying them were actually people in Top Gun. They were like some of the best. But yeah, okay. So that, but
you meant the actual.
I was thinking like the bit with the volcano. Yeah, like the volcano and the.
Yeah, that was so. I don't know about all
Seattle.
of it, but
Seattle in Washington.
The valley was real. They actually did that.
Yes, I know that, and it was actually low level and all this sort of stuff. Yeah.
It wasn't that low level. If you spoke to an RA,
well, as in it's low.
If you spoke to like a tornado pilot, he'd probably laugh. So low level.
No, but I mean, isn't there like something that sets what's high, medium, or low? So it's kind of like it's the. I know your point. You're saying they go much
way lower than that. Way lower. So, Iran is mountainous, frequently snowy, and close to the Gulf of Oman.
Well, if that was the case, then why were they ambiguous about it?
Because they didn't want to do this. Oh, let's get the brown people. Yeah, they're bad, aren't they?
It stopped them in the past.
What's that TV show, Homeland? That. All right?
Homeland.
Or 24. There are whole seasons of 24. Which are like, fucking hell, come on, mate.
He's but... Yeah, I mean, Jack Bauer's a G. But...
Doesn't matter who he's going up against.
What did you guys think about the soundtrack in this? Because
Top
Gun, I think, was, like, in my opinion, one of the best. I'll add that to my list right now, actually, soundtracks.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking
I thought
awesome.
You'd love it.
I don't think this soundtrack was as memorable.
It was retro. Yeah, there was nothing new because, the original one obviously had Dangerzone and Take My Breath Away was the other.
Yep.
That's why I mean they played Dangerzone, but they didn't play Take My Breath Away. I thought that was a big mistake. They fucked up there.
I think it was possibly, it might have come across as a bit cheesy, or maybe it was a licensing thing.
No, I mean after everything that they did with the mustache and what's his face, to play Take My Breath Away.
I don't think they would have mind paying a bit.
That is not my Take My Breath Away. Is not my favorite. It's far too 80s for me.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. My feeling. I'm not a big...
It's a great movie, and it's so famous because of Top Gun. It's a no-brainer in my opinion. How could you not put it in? It has to be in. I thought that was a bit stupid. They should have put that in. So there's my second gripe of the movie.
Yeah, see, you've got a few. So
to take it from a 10 to a 9, I think that's probably it.
So I saw at the start, I thought it said music, and it had two names, and one was Lady Gaga.
Yeah, I'm googling it now, and
I was like, so I thought the one little misstep is the very last scene, or one of the missteps, I should say, is the very last scene where he then takes her out in his plane, right? And they have that song, and I was like, this song does not fit this film. Did you not think that? And then the one that rolls into the credits, I was like,
I can't remember it now.
It's the Lady Gaga song, and I was there going, "What?
Oh, that's right.
I've got it on my screen. I'm gonna play it.
It really felt jarring to me, and I was like, they should have just ended the film when she came into the hangar, and then they had this little bit with it, and obviously because Lady Gaga, and we were like, I mean, Paul mentioned, I chatted to him about it because he loves it. She should have sang "Take My Breath Away" and done a cover. How good would that have been?
Yeah, all right, yeah.
That
opportunity,
100% that when this film comes out on Blu-ray, DVD, or whatever, people are gonna make edits where they put "Take My Breath Away" over it, just like they did with Infinity War and what.
I was about to say that with Thor,
Thor, which makes it 10 times better. They'll do that with this, and they'll make it 10 times better. I promise. Yeah. And if they've got a little bit of sense, they'll put it as an option on the DVD where you can fucking put the song.
Add it into a particular scene, but otherwise,
it's an absolute no-brainer.
I thought they did really. I really like the Top Gun theme, and I really like Danger Zone. And then obviously there's a few others and that are thrown in, but I think in general I'm happy.
I think I need to watch it again to this time listen out for the music, whereas
you were just
watching the film more.
Yeah, you're in the film. You're not being critical.
If you're going to do like a real in-depth review of any movie, you've got to watch it twice. First time you're just enjoying the movie.
Yep.
Otherwise, you're just sitting there critiquing it, and you're not. Really sure.
That's the problem I said I sometimes get, where when I'm not enjoying a film, I start almost like I'm focusing more on how something is shot or where it's done or how it's done or is the camera. It's like it's because I'm not invested. And if you're invested, you're gonna miss all that. I can't remember half the songs in this other than "Goodness Gracious, Great Bob."
Oh
yeah. That's what I mean. I don't think it's that memorable.
No,
definitely compared to the first soundtrack. But like I said, I'll watch it again and get a vibe. I was listening to the first soundtrack yesterday, and today when I was working out, I thought these songs are fucking great.
I have to say, I did put the soundtrack on when I was driving home from the film, as in the original Top Gun soundtrack.
Great fucking music. And yeah, do you think there was any CGI in this film?
Yes.
A few crazy explosions and shit.
Yeah, there must be.
When the base is exploding or whatever.
So
in general, I think
the not the very beginning when he's flying the Aurora plane, that doesn't exist.
Oh yeah, all right.
Right,
okay.
so that's fine.
And obviously, does he pull his ejector seat when he's going at?
Yeah.
Pulling how many 10 Mach 10?
10, 12. Yeah.
It was Mach 10, wasn't it? That's how fast he was going. And
that was one of the moments where I was like, you would never get this guy to do anything. I mean, the fact it's like he's just ruined. It's like, what are you doing? This man would have a job.
Yeah. No chance.
It's like, dude, you hit it, you then beat it. Just get off the top.
Oh, we made it a little bit more. No.
Stick it to the man. I'm Maverick.
Yeah.
Do what I want.
No, but that is what his character would do.
I trash everything, even though I've actually
he would never have got that. He would have been killed ages ago.
Also, they've all lost their jobs now because the plane is total. There is no plane.
That's not the problem.
The point, well done. So no, he didn't. He fucking destroyed everything, didn't he?
No, but the
point was a proof of concept, though. So it doesn't matter that the plane was destroyed.
You think
that doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay. You're saying they'll.
The point is they were demonstrating their technology capability, and they did it.
I'll give you that.
So the fact they blew it up and he probably died doesn't matter. In the long run, it's true.
Is that what you do at work? Is that how? Is that?
No, it's like in Iron Man. They just hook it up to a weapon, an equipment failure. Do you know what I mean? That's all they would say. There was a unplanned equipment failure, but nobody was harmed in this training. It was a training incident. That's what it was in the college in Iron Man. The training incident, and nobody was harmed, and everything's fine. That's exactly what happens. Come on, man. You know the score with how these things are run. I think it's fine.
I think a lot of the towards the end, where the dogfight sequences got really crazy, there was CGI there, and obviously the SUs at 50 something, the SU-57s or whatever they are,
the 5th gen fighters or whatever.
They just kept saying the 5th gen.
Yeah, they were all CGI because They do.
I did a little bit of research on it afterwards. I can't remember what their findings were. That quite a few countries have got 5th gen fighters and stuff, including the Yanks.
Apparently,
some shit like that. I can't
yeah,
remember.
5th gen is the F-22, isn't it?
I don't know, no idea.
But I thought, the fact that they shot a lot of the guys, I shouldn't say guys, a lot of the characters actually in one, being flown, actually experiencing what they were meant to be experiencing in the film, and trying to react the way they're supposed to react in the right moment, as if they're the ones piloting it. I thought how they managed to bring that was really good. I heard something about they set all the cameras and stuff up with the actor or actress or actor, and then they send them off. It's then they're responsible for basically hitting record, and then they do their what's planned out and they're seen and they act it out, and then they come back, and then it's only then when you know what you've caught, and then you have to look back and go, no, you looked the wrong way, or you've erased it because you accidentally did this. Apparently, like Miles Teller did that once where he didn't get one right, so he did a whole flight through and he hadn't recorded any of it once. So
yeah, that comes with the territory. I mean, that's just...
but it really well done to then put that together, edit it in a way that feels like you are in that situation. You're watching that fight. Yeah, really well done.
They didn't mess around with the way they shot the film. Everything was beautiful and spot on.
Apparently, they did destroy that little shed.
Yeah, I heard this when he flew over Ed Harris. It was a one take because it was the top actually flew off the set, and I went, we'll have to use that one.
Does it? Yeah. There were a couple of mistakes. There's one bit where Miles Teller actually flies out of his seat because he hadn't done his straps.
I think
it's when he goes over the top, and then before he does the flip, he flies out of his seat.
You see him hop, and he hits his helmet on the what's it called, carapace, whatever it is. It's in the film. It's in the. I think it was in the trailer that we rewatched before, but. It's like there's this bit where he goes, oh, thunk.
What I loved about the flight sequence, it kind of reminds me of, you're playing a video game like the Canyon Run. Years ago, me and TJ, we were doing the speeder bike run in Battlefront
1,
and then I beat you by like 1 second because I sat there for an hour just doing it again and again and again and again, taking off a fraction of a second every time. That reminded me of when the trainees or the Top Gun pilots were doing that canyon run, and then Tom Cruise turns up, and you could see the amount of strain he was putting into it. He's like fucking rinsing it. I don't know how many takes that 2.5 minute sequence took.
Yeah, it's got to be.
God damn! For me, that canyon run, he was fucking rinsing it. You can see the G-forces on his face. His little 70-year-old man eyes, like, oh my god.
Yeah, well, there's Hollywood magic in there. I mean, obviously, it didn't actually put him through the mincer, but that whole bit was pretty good.
He was in the back of an F-18.
It was believable, and looked
being flown by someone who was clearly highly skilled.
Tom Cruise was not flying in F-18.
Obviously.
Just to be clear about that. But they really did a great job on that.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah, really.
Like it was, like you said, for immersion. You felt like you were there and it was happening. It didn't feel like a Hollywood movie.
No,
this shit was going down. It was brilliant. Yeah. So, Carlos, let's get to what you said were your problems then.
Oh, nitpicks. Can I nitpick? Right. Here we go.
Do it. Let's hear it.
Okay, so first nitpick, we already kind of mentioned that, you'd never hire Maverick. We just brought that up. Like, clearly, it's not. I know that strings were pulled. Strings.
Yeah, but they said that. You knew that was explained by the story.
It's fine. I'm just saying it's part of the film, right? So it's not necessarily an error or a flaw or a problem. Okay, so one issue I have is. You have Rooster, who is established that he does not trust Maverick at all. He doesn't like him. He's not certain.
He screwed him over, didn't he, by pulling his application?
Yeah, right. And Maverick knows that he specifically is affected because he worries about him. He cares for him, and he doesn't want him to be in these positions that are incredibly dangerous. So when they're going on this incredibly dangerous mission, where everyone has to be on point, he definitely says, you are going to be there, even though it specifically shows in a scene where he's going up, that it's clearly distracting him, because even remember he's going up to his like, is it the F-22s or whatever, that he's like looking like, and he's all nervous and uncertain, and like I'm like, well, this is clearly affecting you, and you're picking someone who does not trust you in a situation. In reality, you wouldn't pick that person. Or
Yeah,
that
but no,
situation.
think about it. Play
It's
it
a
out to the other
Hollywood
way.
adaptation.
If he didn't take him, then essentially his life would be like, it would take a massive downturn at that point.
Yeah, but it's
You
not
know what I mean?
the logical choice because it affected.
It's not the logical, but it's an
you.
emotional one. It's an
Yes,
emotional
and
one.
that's my point. It's a
And
nitpick.
he does it
It's a
in
nitpick.
other as
He
like
does
an
it.
opportunity for him
Yeah.
to
Prove
come
himself.
good and also
He knew he was
repair
ready.
his relationship.
Carlos, we've discussed this, mate. It's the redemption arc, isn't it?
Yeah, he knew he was ready as well.
Yeah, Maverick felt he knows why he did it because of Rooster's mum asking him to do it.
Yeah.
But he had to redeem that act
Yes.
by giving him that spot.
Yeah.
To be
Narratively,
honest, Rooster was like a really bad choice because he was like really slow and all the rest of it.
Yes.
The guy Hangman was probably going to kill them anyway. So
like logically, I'm saying in reality, not in Hollywood cinema. In reality, that's just not. You wouldn't pick him.
Okay.
But I know what you mean, and I do want to actually add in that I really like that he never reveals it. What his mum asked him. I'm really glad they didn't do that as part of the bonding.
Yes.
They bonded separately, and he still kept that wish and didn't want him to think otherwise of his mother, which I really liked.
That would be a dick move, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but they sometimes do that where it's almost like, but this is the character we care about. Maverick's the character we care about. So it's okay that he now does this and throws her under the bus because now, oh look, their bond's really good. You know, they do that in films quite a bit. So I'm pleased that they had the.
But if he did do that, then especially after he says it early in the film that he never told that his mom said that, then that would make you dislike Maverick for announcing it. As the audience, you would think that as a dick move, but they wouldn't want us to think Maverick is a dick. Do you know what I mean? So not part of the story, but also for, you know when they do their test viewings and shit. How about if Maverick comes out and tells him, "I only did it because your mom said so." Yeah, I mean, I'd be like, whoa. Like,
of course.
Dick. Yeah.
Same. Yeah. Right. Next nitpick. They say to him, "Who do you want as your wingman?" Now, how I understood that is that's the person who is literally flying on your wing next to you in the.
And
he says, "I want Rooster," and then Rooster isn't actually his wingman, and Rooster flies.
No, I don't think he says that.
He doesn't. I thought he said that because that was the last one he announced.
Rooster
like, my wingman
leading the other team. That's what.
Okay, so that's maybe that I did miss that because I was like, hang on a minute. I'm sure he said, "Who do you want as your wingman?" And he said Rooster. And I was like, "Hey."
No,
so okay, my nitpick.
The leader of the B team was meant to be the shit hot pilot, and that's why Hangman should have got that role. But he benched Hangman for this dude.
He gave it to Rooster. And no, I'm sure that the line said that, but obviously maybe I'm misremembering specifically.
So that was your one nitpick.
And no, and then the last. Well, if I've got it wrong, then obviously it's not even a nitpick.
Yeah.
And the last thing, which again, I get why they did it. I don't have a problem with them doing it. But his little tagline that he said to the people, his like mantra, was awful, wasn't it? Like, don't think, just do. Was that right? Was that the line? I can't remember. You've seen it more recently.
Yeah, I think it was like that.
He just kept saying, "Don't think, just do."
Who says that?
Maverick. He keeps saying it to him. I'm like, this is an awful line. I get what you're saying. You're saying, use your gut, use your emotions. He said it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, he did.
It's his thing, and he keeps saying, "Remember, that was the thing he like says to him at the end, And then when he went up to him, remember when they have the brilliant bit where they crash and he comes over and goes, "What the hell were you thinking?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "I wasn't thinking. You told me not to."
Yeah.
It's a brilliant moment.
Oh yeah, that's
he
set
kept
up
saying,
and payoff. That was
"Don't
quite good.
Very brilliant joke. Brilliant joke. That's the thing I forgot. We haven't mentioned comedy. They actually did in a film you wouldn't think would be funny. It actually was funny. It was actually made me laugh quite a few times, and I didn't expect that. But and like I said, I just think saying that to someone is like proper inspirational talk. Can you imagine saying that to someone? Don't think, just do. I just kept chuckling every time.
That's a Yoda line. That's why I don't think it's that bad.
I thought it was Bruce Lee.
Well, Yoda says something very similar.
Well, I'm not.
You think Yoda is like everyone? Like, it's not everything.
Yoda says something very similar. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty do not think.
I thought it was do or do not. There is no.
There is
try.
not try.
But that's something specific. This is just saying.
Yeah.
All right, it's fine. It's fine. It's a nitpick. You're fine with it. It sounds like, but for me, I found it kind of amusing.
I think
every
your
time you said
nitpicks
it.
are stupid, but mine are much better.
Hey,
Sanjay, do you have any nitpicks with the movie?
Minor, very minor. I know that it's only a movie, but you know what I'm like, especially when it comes to like airplanes and stuff. My whole Captain America First Avenger issue
Yeah.
with the
Yeah,
pressurized
holding on
landing
to the
bay.
holding on to the.
No. Okay, no, it's fine. Things like so Maverick gets shot down, and ordinarily they surrender a search and rescue helicopter to actually pick him up, but the plot is contrived such that Rooster. It actually makes sense. Rooster turning up to save him because he's being attacked by a helicopter gunship. Why would the helicopter gunship just try to machine gun this pilot? They'd try to capture him. Surely, that you wouldn't. Why would you do that, right? So it was a little bit contrived in places just to make it fit the action sequence.
Yes.
And
where they wanted the characters to be. Yeah. How do we get from A to B?
And obviously the chances of a 30, 40-year-old aircraft shooting down a 5th gen fighter is kind of almost impossible, but the situation was such that it kind of made it possible, and that was the whole point. It's not about the plane, it's the person flying it.
Which was a nice little line.
So okay, all right, I get it. I mean, it's like super nitpicky little bits and pieces.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's
it's
like a person Tom Cruise's age wouldn't really be able to do any of that.
Yeah.
Well, now you're really pushing it, I think.
You have to be physically incredibly fit to pull 10 G.
I think he's supposed to be younger than his actual age in the film.
Yes, definitely.
But we were trying to work that out based on.
He does not look like a near pensioner, does he? So
yeah, and you reminded me of another nitpick, but I've forgotten what it was now. Oh, predictable. Couldn't care less, but it was predictable of where things were going. When certain things happened, I was like, really pleased. I was like, yes! But I knew it was coming on at least 3 or 4 of the big things.
Well, I don't think anyone actually died, did they?
No.
So, although I said it was like a Suicide Squad mission, no one actually died. So it wasn't that dangerous. You know?
But it's because Maverick changed it, because of course they weren't going to go in this trench. They weren't going to have that. So it was that Maverick said, if we drop below and do this run in this time, we have time to then, by the time we hit them and they can react, we're already out and we have a chance to run away.
Yeah, so
whereas the original, they would have had a chance.
They're going much slower. It's going to be much safer.
Either much slower, or they would have.
The fighters would have caught up with them and taken them out.
No, I just think they lost a bit of tension. They could have done a bit of a Game of Thrones things and actually killed off one of the characters. Then you go, oh shit, maybe there's some actually. But in the end, you knew that probably no one was going to die. That's the whole thing.
They could have killed off one of the wingmen.
Sean Bean could have been one of the pilots. In the first act, he gets blown up. We go, oh, Sean Bean's dead. Oh my god, anyone could die there.
And then at the start of the film, he's there. He's like, one doesn't simply fly into Iran and blow up a nuclear.
One doesn't simply fly in a minute and a half.
It would have been brilliant. Yeah,
and drop a bomb.
In movies where they're trying to set up a sense of peril like this, and the whole thing was that sense of peril for the whole movie. In the end, you knew no one was going to die. It wasn't that perilous. It was just about the action set pieces. So it was a lost opportunity, I think.
To go off topic a little bit, that's one of my favorite moments in The Fellowship when they're having the speech around Elrond's meeting. And he's giving it the large, and then somebody tells him to sit back down. He sits back down. Somebody says something else, and he fucking gets back up again and carries on going. Oh, this guy is just fucking on it. It's just great. It's a gift to Mordor. We must take the ring. Oh, this guy. And Gandalf just looks at him like, what are you doing?
It's a great scene.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Go on, what about yourself?
I've already said mine. My two were Take My Breath Away and the fact they made him look exactly the same and play the same song.
Oh, that was it?
That's it.
There's not much. There is not much.
And okay, it's true that when he ejected at fucking, what's it, 3,300 miles per hour, that would have fucking splattered his guts to a million pieces. But yeah. Other than that, I don't mind. It's cool.
Yeah, that was he was at like at 90,000 feet doing Mach 10, and the aircraft broke up. Say goodbye. Place your head between your knees and kiss your ass goodbye.
But it was funny when he shows up in the bar. That's what it was for. That's
Yeah,
what that
yeah.
scene was for.
Yeah, no, I
Where
did
am
like
I?
that scene. I thought, yeah, that was pretty good. And they all looked at him and they were like, "What?"
And the little kid thought he was from space or something.
I knew he was going to say that. Where
You
am
see what
I
I mean, though? Predictable. It was a little bit
It's
predictable.
pretty predictable.
Like you knew.
That's
you knew
Hollywood, though,
Maverick,
isn't it?
you knew Maverick was going to
popcorn
get
flick.
back and
Yeah.
go. You knew that Hangman was going to show up at the end and be the one. You
This
knew
was-
that Marteller was
yeah,
going back to save him.
It was like
You
the
knew he was gonna
ultimate
pick
summer
Mars
blockbuster
Rooster.
popcorn flick. It nailed everything.
Yeah, I didn't care about any of that, by the way. It didn't take away
Absolutely
from any of the
nailed it all.
enjoyment because they knocked it out of the park. Didn't
Yeah.
care.
So I've got a question for you to change topic. Let's assess its diversity. What did you think about that? Was it diverse enough? You have to do that nowadays, mate. Sorry.
I mean, they had a woman in there.
They had a woman in there. They had,
She was all right. She wasn't shit. She was competent.
They had people of some colour.
Several different pilots
Yeah,
with
yeah,
different
yeah.
backgrounds.
Yeah, there's a bit there. But okay, all of the main characters were.
But still
And
make-
unlike the first
But-
film, you wouldn't say any of them were homos in this one.
No, you couldn't say that.
You
Yeah.
can say that.
'Cause we didn't have the
So
volleyball this
actually, in
time.
that way, it's gone backwards because Top Gun was quite homoerotic, whereas
It
this
was.
one
It was. It's been the
pretty hetero. Yeah.
the beach volleyball ball
I was
scene.
just going to say they had the
Very-
American football this time.
Playing with the
Yeah.
boys, I
Yes.
believe the song is called. Yeah.
That's right. Oh yes, yes it is. That's right.
We didn't mention the American football
I
game.
fucking love that.
So we didn't mention that. So okay. So in terms of diversity, so TJ, how many Indian people were there in this movie?
These bloody bastards! Not
You
a single
bloody
Indian film.
I think the 5th gen fighter pilots might have been of a different ethnicity.
I
We
can't
never get
remember.
to find
I
out.
can't remember what they look like. That's what I always thought they was
They
meant
were
to be
fucking
Russian.
Helmet,
Iranian. What
helmet.
did they look like?
I thought they were meant to be Russian. That's what I thought
They-
that they were the angle they're going for. I thought they sanitized it because there's two on the nose being about Americans
Wow.
attacking Russians.
I think they always wanted. It was almost like they were going to do the Marvel thing of making up a place.
That's what they
Yeah.
should have done. I think that's what they should have done. Is actually just
Yeah.
made up a country,
Like
and then
Latvia.
everybody would have been
Made up
fine.
country like Latvia, right?
Latvia Stan.
Yes, I was going to say that
Stan
is,
at the end.
Marvel literally did that.
Stan
Like,
at the
that's
end.
where-
Everybody hates the Stan.
What country is it? What's the Marvel country? What's the main
So Doctor Doom is from Latvia.
Latvia.
It was like really.
Really?
And he's a great villain. He's a
Great.
classic villain.
I knew
What was
it.
his first
I
name? He's
knew
got a
it.
great first name as well, in Nicholas.
I can't remember to be fair. I don't know if
He
I
has
actually
got a
know
great
that.
first name.
Victor?
He's got like a superhero. It begins with a
Is it
D.
Victor? Victor Von
Oh,
Doom
yeah,
or something?
Victor Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's
So
great.
yeah,
you
I'm
noticed
sure he's
that
from
the,
Latvia. I'm sure it's Latin. So basically, I looked at Latvia on the map and went, "Yeah, I'd chuck an eye in, and that's that."
Yeah,
and you've made up place.
change some of the letters around. It's close enough.
Yeah, so Marvel they made up Sokovia. That's where
Yes.
Sokovia, yes.
that's where Ultron dropped.
Scarlet Witch
the,
is from.
city.
Yeah.
And Ovia is kind of middle of the road. A Stan is evil. Think
Not
about
just not just people called Stan.
it. No,
just
I
to
know. I
clarify.
work with a guy called Stan. He's
You're
really
watching
nice guy.
and called Stan. Sorry,
Yeah,
they're not. This
But
isn't.
Stan was not from Stanny Stan. If then, he would have been evil.
Do you think they could actually have a Stanistan? Stanistan.
Yeah, of course you can. You can do what
Go
you want.
into Stanistan.
Don't give
Wait,
Marvel ideas, Collis. They're probably listening. They'll say,
Fucking Marvel.
"Sign him up. Get that copyrighted now.
Stanny
Don't want to give any
Stan!
royalties. So YouTube, you can
Stanistan.
copyright it. Get it
Right,
copyrighted
next.
now.
Okay, no.
Stanistan.
Where's the next?
Did you
one?
notice that the fighter pilots, the evil fighter pilots, were completely covered around their faces?
This is the
There was
point.
no
So you have
skin.
no
Yes.
idea where they're
I think
from.
they went to some extent to so that you didn't know what country it was. But I distinctly heard Iran, unless he said "I am" or something like that.
That's what I mean. Yeah, nobody else has mentioned it. I've heard quite a few people talking about the movie.
Yeah.
Nobody else has said that it was a slip in the editing room that it's in there.
Mhm.
They reference Iran.
I have to watch it again. Cinema job.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll watch it again.
So anyway, it loses a point for lack of diversity. No Indian people.
No Indian people. That's what we should put that on thing. How many Indian people in there as a counter?
Yeah, that's
I'll
right.
put that as a bonus.
Okay,
point.
tell you what. Name an Indian person in sci-fi. And apparently, so apart from Khan Singh in Star Trek, apart
Khan
from
Singh.
him,
Was that his name? Khan Singh.
Khan Union Singh.
and he was played by some white dude, right?
By a white guy. You're welcome. But
In sci-fi.
Indian. There you
go. What you call it? With the robot. Johnny Five.
Oh, fucking
Short
hell.
Circuit.
Fuck's sake.
Short Circuit. He was a white dude as well.
He was a white guy, yeah.
But he was a proper Indian dude. That dude was Indian.
I was gonna say that was really kind of a stereotypical portrayal, but it's actually pretty good.
He's pretty good. He's in the sequel as well. Again, pretty good.
No.
I watched the sequel a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
Riz Ahmed in Rogue One.
Yes, that's true.
Oh, good one. Good one.
He is Hollywood's go-to Asian now.
Yeah, go-to.
He's got himself that nice little niche. Fair play to him. He's getting paid.
Yeah.
Good actor.
Riz Ahmed, yeah, he's good actually.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently he's Pakistani, not Indian. Just.
Yeah. I apologize. I apologize.
Ahmed.
Hang on, you started talking about diversity, but now it's so specific they have to.
That's what I was about to say. I thought you meant.
That's pretty fucked up, dude. That's not diversity.
I wasn't going for a specific country.
That's specificity. There's no diversity in India.
I'm sorry, Sanjay. How many Latvians were there in this film?
How many cartoonish Latvian villains were there?
Yes. Well, who's that guy who plays that random Eastern European guy?
Yeah. You're John Wick guy, right? The one who's in
John Wick guy, yeah.
I get him. He joked. He literally joked. Isn't he from like Sweden or something? And he was like, literally, if there's any country in Europe that's Eastern Europe, they're just like, hire him.
Yeah.
He can put the accent. We don't
do
care
a Hungarian accent.
You are now. You're now Russian. You're now. You're Bulgarian. You're now German.
Yeah.
Everything.
The problem with, shall I tell you what I think the problem with Indians in cinema is? Everybody just associates it with Bollywood now in movies.
They shouldn't. I mean, that's bad.
As soon as like a normal person thinks Indian in a film, they think singing and fucking dancing and cheesy, over the top, pow. Like in Jurassic Park, he was probably one of the other actors that's been given a decent hit a go at it. Was what's his face in Jurassic World? He plays the park owner, but even he was a little bit.
Oh
a
little bit like cheesy. He couldn't really take him serious as a CEO of this company.
Wasn't he in that? What's that fucking epic CGI feast movie?
Yeah, he was in where on the Life of Pi.
Yeah, Life of Pi. Yeah,
he was in that as well.
Yeah, that's right.
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
And Deepika Padukone was in Triple X.
Oh, okay. That's a bit suspect, isn't it?
No, she was good.
But we're not allowed to talk about Temple of Doom.
Why not?
Oh, come on! Eating monkey's brains and stuff. This is not exactly that bad khichdi that we normally eat. You know what I mean?
Bro, you need to come to my house, man.
Oh, mate!
I got the snakes.
Snakes, surprise!
Lift the skull off.
Was that your uncle? Was it? Snake surprise. Fucking what?
How can you be pissed off with the Temple of Doom? It's just great.
We don't talk about it.
It's great. I reckon it is like flies below the radar as the best Indiana Jones film.
What?
That's
really?
You are no. I mean, this we're gonna have to have a whole video on.
Flies below the radar has the best Indiana Jones because of the level of darkness. It's proper dark film.
It is a good.
It's a serious story.
Hey, I'd say it's definitely
as opposed to Nazis are trying to get this treasure to win the war. Yeah.
Okay, not for me. For me, that's definitely third.
Nah, that's the least popular. Well, no, I mean everybody generally says Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders is number one. Definitely.
You can see why that said Raiders. Raiders is fucking great, but because how dark Temple of
Crusade was better.
It's good. Lots of memorable moments.
Stay on target. We've gone off.
I think we've pretty much finished. So
okay.
Do you think there's going to be any sequels? Do you think they're going to make another
one? Well, I think because of how much money they made.
They made a lot of money, but I mean, I think Tom Cruise is in control of a lot of this.
They haven't got a story.
There has to be a valid story.
Yeah, they haven't got one.
And given the fact that now they've taken the pupil and made him the teacher, what can they do with him now, really?
Well, they could always just not focus on Tom Cruise.
Top Gun.
It could be a Rooster movie, couldn't it?
Oh, I thought you meant
so then that's a spin-off then.
Yeah,
To me, that's a spin-off. That's not a sequel.
but people will want to watch more of this, whether or not he deserves it or not. I want to see more of that shit.
Oh yeah. So if you're saying if they get the same crew, the same directors, cinematographers, and special effects people, they'd make a great fucking movie. Yeah,
great fucking movie. Damn right.
I don't think they'll make a sequel, but I think you're right with the characters, all those B characters. Hangman, I think Hangman and what's his name? Goose, not Goose, Rooster, and they'd make a good movie with just them pair. That'd be alright.
I think. I mean, we talk about like
to bring back all of them and just make a decent spin-off.
Yeah, as them actually once they're back in their sort of, so to speak, jobs rather than just training for this.
They can like Hangman make some big hero sacrifice, and then everybody's like, no, it's the down point of the movie, and then they come back and then they win it for Hangman at the end, and then right at the very end he like flies over the hill and his ship's all battered or some shit. I don't know.
Just
get him the screenplay.
Shit story.
Send the screenplay.
You say that, but Disney are right here listening, thinking, fucking copyright that shit, get that shit down.
God,
just better than that Rogue One movie, goddamn.
Yeah, so I think I mean, while we're talking about bits and bobs, I suppose I've still got a couple of things I was going to wanting to that we didn't really touch on. That I thought the scene with him and Val Kilmer was really touching. I thought it was really good. We didn't really talk about it.
Like they worked it up nicely with the text messages.
Yeah.
So that was nice that they were in contact and he was helping him out and he's saying, "Do you want to talk?" and all this sort of shit. So that was good. And then when they explained through the movie with what actually went down with him, and then the scene, and he finally speaks to him right then. Yeah, it was
absolutely. I found it very touching. And then
I didn't know about what actually happened to him, so the fact that they worked
was
in
even
the story was really good.
But I thought it was quite impactful because obviously Maverick's dealing with this fact that he's meant to start trusting them. He's meant to start getting them ready and handing it over. And I thought it was great that it was Iceman who basically was the one who said to him, what was it he wrote on it? Was it let it go? He wrote on the screen or something. It was like, I thought that was really good. I thought they almost were going to follow through with that. But again, it's a Hollywood film and you need Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is going to be there, which we kind of felt. But it was almost like he was then ready. He felt ready. And he's like, these guys can do this. Obviously, he ended up, because of what John Hamm did, it forced his hand. I think the idea was he mentally had finally got to that point where he was happy to say, I'm letting these guys go out and do this. And then him needing to fly out and prove to John Hamm that this was possible ended up getting him picked in the squad. Because there's almost that moment where he suddenly like looks all taken aback when he's like, yeah, so you're going now. And he was like, what? And he was like, just shut up, don't say anything.
I heard that Tom Cruise insisted on them including him in the script and the story. That it was like on the table as something that we want to do, and he was like, "No, we absolutely have to get him back."
Yeah, fantastic.
He needs to be part of the movie, and he absolutely had to be part of the movie. I think.
Really happy.
There would have been no reason not to get him in. He was great. Yeah, Iceman.
But for punch the air moments, that's a brilliant. Then
I do feel so. I think Val Kilmer is underrated as like an actor with his movies that he's done.
Probably. I mean, he's had a few bad ones, which is probably why. But you're right. He has some really good performances, and it's funny that. Like him. You talk about Hangman and Rooster, and that's the relationship kind of that you have with Iceman and Maverick, except Iceman was never cocky, not like Hangman was. So you're kind of bringing back that kind of not banter, but
why do they call him Iceman? He never makes a mistake.
Because I was going to say, I never actually disliked Iceman, even though he's the one who's always critical of Maverick.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He wasn't like a bad guy, and you like that. Then at the end, they really respect each other and show that. But it's like. That was a good line. Yeah, you finished top of your class, and he's like second actually at the beginning of Maverick.
I like the character Maverick in so much as he was flawed all the way through, and I think that was a really good foil for some of the characters. He was doing his job, but he was the only reason he was in that position was because of Iceman. Otherwise, ages ago.
Been ages ago, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. One of the throwbacks, speaking of like him being flawed and with the others, we forgot to mention a kind of a throwback to the first one was the fact that they tossed him out of the bar, and then obviously he does the walk through the middle when they realize, and that's what happens with the love interest in the first film, where doesn't he try and chat her up or something, and then she shows up and walks in, and he's like, "Oh no!" It's
they
and they did exactly the same thing where they're like, "Oh no!" We threw him out and called him old.
Yeah, there's loads of little clever stuff like that. Not clever, but yeah, well,
yeah, just
kind of
nice
clever.
little bits that kind of nod back.
Callbacks.
And, yeah, but
Callbacks and
Did
homages.
you know this movie on Rotten Tomatoes audience score is 99%?
Oh,
Damn.
1% of the population are idiots.
Why is it not
What
100?
film did they watch? They obviously walked into the wrong film and saw a goddamn Jurassic World.
Isn't that the highest like ever?
There is like a
I don't
list
watch
actually,
Rotten
but it
Tomatoes.
depends.
there
I don't have to
100?
wait till there's. I think there's got to be a certain amount of. Is that actually that's the audience one, not the critical, not the critical.
Audience. The critic, no, tomato
vote.
meter is 97%.
Blimey. I mean, everyone's coming out enjoying it.
Yeah,
But yeah, I thought they had to have a certain number, but it's got to be up there. There are some that are very high.
bloody hell.
It is. I think it's amazing.
on number
I
one?
can't wait to get it on 4K and then I'll whack the Blu-ray on my projector. That's definitely going to be showing me one to get going. It's going to be fucking great.
Yeah.
Everybody should see it. I told everybody should go and see it. I'll stand by that now. Everybody should go see it. Your daughters, your wife, your dog,
Take the family,
your cat,
cousins, uncles.
I haven't enjoyed a movie this much in a very long time. The last time I saw a movie I enjoyed it was probably Dune, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah,
it's just
different though. Dune's a different way of enjoying a film though.
Yeah, completely different.
This kind of
cinematic masterpiece, but this was adrenaline rush. Just
that's what I mean. For me, it's Infinity War. I think was the last.
Yeah, because that's like got tense bits and you're in, but So I felt like, whereas this one, you're like, I really want him to succeed. Brilliant.
Hits all the notes. There you go. And I guess if there's anything similar which people should go and watch today, fucking go watch Top Gun. Or if you're up for a laugh, go watch Hot Shots.
Yes, watch Top Gun and then Hot Shots.
Yes.
Watch Top Gun and then Hot Shots.
I was trying to find Hot Shots and I couldn't find it on any of the streaming services. I think Sky, like Now TV or something have it, or something like that. Now Sky have it. But yeah, definitely, the first Hot Shots, and then I guess if you want to watch some, nothing's probably shot quite as well as this in the actual planes. Oh, we didn't even mention about the fact they brought back the F4. I mean, we kind of touched on it. The F14 was it that they had at the end?
Yeah, I don't know if that was. I don't think the US has got any flying.
Because I'm assuming that this is what I was about to say. Did they have to shoot that completely differently then? Because I really liked that they had that little touch of here's the old, the guy who's past his time.
Yeah, well, that was all part of the movie when it is. They had to do that. It just makes sense as a callback.
If you want, it's interesting that you already mentioned, therefore, the Dirty Dozen and things like that. That is like getting a team together for a mission. If you like that kind of structure, there's probably a couple of films we could try and think of. We mentioned Rogue One just now. I suppose arguably that's kind of a war, so to speak, a bit of a war movie, getting a team together to do a particular mission. Very different, not as much. So I don't know if there's anything in particular that's.
There you go. Okay, so I think everybody. Well, I think me and you, Carlos, said it was a 9 out of 10. Solanke said, "Damn near perfect." Yeah. So a thumbs up from everybody.
I would. Yep, 9 out of 10 from me.
So have we decided what we're going to do next? Episode 5, I think it is.
What?
Next week on.
Well, this is episode 4. Right.
4, 5, 6, and then we do 1, 2, 3, and then we do.
The podcast strikes back,
and then there'll be the new sequel of a completely new trilogy.
I'm quite up for favorite soundtracks, and I think given that we are reviewing soundtracks, I think we can get away with playing the videos as we go along. So I think that'd be quite good.
Right.
So
you do the legal shit then.
This is what. I think because we're not going to get demonetized because we're not monetized to begin with. I don't think it matters that much. So you prepare your list for soundtrack and score. Maybe just do 10 for each. We don't go more than that.
Soundtrack and score, right?
And then we'll just go around one by one.
I think top 10. Did you say?
Yes, not top 10. Just make a list of 10.
Yeah, right.
Maybe try and think a little bit outside the box because otherwise we're going to have the same shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you are going to go for something popular, obviously like Star Wars, pick a song from Star Wars as opposed to Star Wars.
A track.
Beach.
Not a song. There's no singing in the Star Wars. It's an Indian version, mate.
Yeah, there is a bit of singing in Star Wars.
I thought you said you're saying you
Oh,
want
okay,
best
yeah.
score.
There might have been a bit
Best
in
soundtrack.
Mos Eisley Cantina.
No,
Yeah.
in Duel of Fates, there's some crazy white women in the background.
Oh yeah. No, there's actually in Return of the Jedi. What's her face is singing in Jabba's palace.
Oh yeah, that's true.
She's actually singing. There you go.
Okay. Do, 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 do.
Kiki, I know what your favorite is.
He's got that playing to everything.
He's got the look.
For some reason.
I think you. Okay, so just as a reminder, although this has now for some reason become my theme of some sort, it was actually TJ that said that song worked in any situation, and I said it didn't, and he said, "Go on, then name me a situation it doesn't work in," and yeah, this is. I just want to highlight that I did point out a couple of situations you might not. It was him who said it was okay in every location.
For most situations, it's a great song.
But yeah, just whack on.
That could definitely be as your theme song.
I'm happy to have it.
Yeah,
it's a cracking song.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think my theme song would be Guile's from Street Fighter 2. I think.
Yeah, so that's right. So
this,
what I want is for each of us to think about what your entry music would be. So if you were a WWE fighter, okay. What's your entry track?
Yes, I mean I'll play mine for you right now. Let's just do it. I can tell you what it is. I just told you what it is. Guile. Go on, you talk amongst yourselves while I find this.
Oh no, I'll bring it. This will surely be for our music-based discussion.
Yeah, exactly. No, you gotta
spend a bit of time.
You gotta wait.
Okay.
I'll come away with with an amusing idea. I mean, with an idea.
I'll have a few backups. I've got a few backups, but yeah, definitely.
Have a think about it. WWE entry track. Think about it. Plus your call sign. It's got to go together. That's it. Mine's Clawhammer. You're welcome.
What can't I have Agate in? Call me Aga.
No. That's shit.
Yeah.
Your wingman will desert you.
Yeah.
Wait, wow, thanks, man.
No.
I can't fight with this gay piece of shit. Fuck that. God damn, I'm out of it.
Don't say that. You're on the internet. Fucking hell. You just got us demonetized.
You meant gay like
flagged. We're gonna get a warning.
Happy like
this stream was flagged for being homophobic.
Yeah. Well, things we're only gonna flag.
I love gay people. Not like that. Not like that. Though.
Now I can't send a link to friends and family now.
You're too embarrassed.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Yeah. Let's end it there. That's a decent go of it, an hour and a half. I saw we did have sporadically a few viewers. I don't know if that was you guys on your phone, but there were people coming in and out.
What, just then? Was it?
Throughout the stream, yeah.
Fucking what?
A couple of people, not many, just one every now and again, in and out.
Oh, that might be me by accident.
Never mind.
All
right, cool. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
As always.
Speak to you soon.
Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Peace.